Hello and welcome everyone, it is me, the lover, also Master Duelist, back for you with an update to my current Morphtronic deck list. Something that has been kind of, missing on this channel for a while, but people that, follow the Morphtronic Ranked Grind for Master Duel will, roughly know what's in this. So, let's just dive right into it with 3 copies of Morphronic Saffron. The one ratio that probably will never change. Saffron, while in attack position, allows you to roll a 6-sided die, reveal cards from top of your deck equal to that die roll, and then special summon any level 4 or lower Morphtronic from those cards, ignoring summoning conditions. Just an incredible card. Having, a monster that essentially allows you to just summon a guy from the deck is really nice. Even, if it's tied to this like very RNG heavy mechanic. But Saffron, yeah, still an absolutely amazing card and a monster you don't mind seeing. Then we have, the next in line for these. We have 3 copies of Morphtronic Smartphone. This is a level 1 tuner that you are able to special summon by banishing a Morphtronic from your graveyard, which is incredibly cool. Similar to Saffron, you roll a 6-sided die, reveal that many cards from the top of your deck, and then you're able to add a Morphtronic card from those to your hand. Being able to, grab powerful extenders or, potentially grab names to pitch off of replay unit, which is very nice. And, just being a special summonable level 1 tuner is great as well. All of these have different effects depending on the battle position. Smartphone while in defense allows you to roll a die, look at the top cards of your deck, and then stack those depending on the die roll, which can be quite handy, but it's nothing, crazy you'll be, taking a lot advantage of. 3 copies of Morphtronic Telephone follow next. The newest one, another level 1 tuner while in attack position. This rolls a die, and then you can summon a monster from your Morphtronic from your graveyard with a level equal to or lower than the die roll, and you gain 100 life points per each, spot on the die. Crazy effect. 2 of these, creates the infamous telephone loop, because you can telephone for telephone, link the other one off, and then telephone for telephone again. While in defense, this is kind of cute. You can look at the top cards of your deck, send a Morphtronic card from those to the graveyard, and then either stack the rest on top or bottom in any order, which is kind of cute, since if you are machine duping this, and I'm not playing as many links as you'd see in maybe link heavy variants, you can summon a couple in defense, and then just, maybe try and high roll into a Saffron of these, so you can really start going off, because you can start finding, different levels, different tuners, to make, powerful Synchro monsters. Another 3 off in Morphtronic Remoten. While in attack, this can banish a Morphtronic from your graveyard to add one with the same level from deck to hand, and while in defense, this can discard a Morphtronic to add one from the graveyard to your hand with the same level. The attack position effect is what makes Remoten, I think, an absolutely amazing card. Because you can easily, take a lot of the level 1s you can get into rotation, because you're playing 9 of these. Banish these for, a smartphone or like potentially something else. Usually you will find yourself in situations where you'll just be going for smartphone for the additional body and the additional searching that it gives. Because it's so much more value in your combos. But, of course, in specific cases, you can also just grab a telephone, grab a Saffron, which is not unheard of, and I have done that as well. But yeah, Remote's just a crazy good card. Really like this guy. Moving on, I think, to the last 3 Morphtronic names that we're running. These are just to mainly pad the numbers a bit. I'm playing a copy of Scopen, which, while in attack position, this can special a level 4 Morphtronic from your hand, but it gets destroyed in the end phase. And while in defense, this is treated as a level 4 monster, giving you, easy ways to put an additional level 4, maybe boomboxing onto the field, and also a bit of modularity with your tuner levels, which is kind of cute. But mainly, this is here just as another tuner, and also as a way to enable Remote and plus machine dupe to get you to IP into Unicorn at least. 2 boomboxen here as a non-tuner. For your choice of level 4 Morphtronic, it really doesn't matter what you run. You can play boomboxen, Staplen, because both are level 4 Earths, which is probably the most advantageous thing under the level 4s, but some of the other level 4s are also pretty decent in the slot. Slinging is spot removal. Radion's just a guy, and Videon's also just a guy. So yeah, just you can play your Morphronic level 4s depending on like flavor. It really doesn't matter which flavor of level 4 Morphronic you enjoy. All of them are great. Moving into things that are sadly not Morphtronics. The Gadget Gamer package, we're playing 3 Gadget Gamer and the accompanying Gadget Hauler. Gadget Gamer on normal summon adds you a level 1 machine from your deck to your hand, which is of course, any of the 3 fonts at the start here. Mostly will be grabbing Telephone because it's a tuner, which is important for the second effect because you contribute the Gadget Gamer and summon a Morphtronic from your hand and then also summon a Gadget Hauler from your deck, which, in combination with Telephone already enables a Power Tool Dragon, which is very crazy. Makes Gadget Gamer probably one of the better starters in this deck, despite its, vulnerability to hand traps. An incredible card. If you can resolve it, you are probably good to go. In terms of powerful 1-hours, we're playing a 1-for-1 for some additional consistency to get to, our key level 1 monsters. A Monster Reborn, because it's a great card in this deck and has some amazing synergy if you rip it off the top if you have a Braver Dragon already engraved, because that guy also triggers off of Special Summon. And a Caught By. Against hand traps, just an incredible card that, you get a lot of in this deck, since, you don't want to be getting ashed nearly as much as, because you want to resolve your card effects. Imagine wanting to resolve card effects. Anyways, into the further spell lineup. We're playing 3 Machine Duplication. Crazy card. Target a machine monster on your field with 500 or less attack. Summon up to 2 with the same name from your deck. That's just crazy, It's just crazy. 3 Converter. This is, I think, the weirdest ratio in this entire deck. Converter targets a machine monster you control, and depending on the battle position, you apply a following effect. If the monster was an attack, you summon a Morphtronic with a different name from your deck and then stack the initial target on top. If it was in defense, you swap that monster's battle position and summon a machine from your hand. This looks weird, but in, a lot of testing and also a lot of just, playing this deck, you will get, Ash Impermed, and Converter is just the extender that gets you out of the, most, interrupted normal summons. Converter can still target a Gadget Gamer, put it on top of the deck, turn it into a cell phone, potentially you can go off from there. Not to mention that, if you happen to have, normal summon and Morphtronic, you can usually swap that out for, another one, and maybe go off from there, be it, taking a telephone, turning it into a cell phone, turning a cell phone into a telephone, and then, maybe milling that cell phone and using, a repair unit to get that back onto the field. But otherwise, Converter is a crazy cool card. Also helps a bit with consistency if you brick, since, it can, of course, turn any Morphtronic into a cell phone. But mainly it's just the one extender that gets you out of the most sticky hands. Then, 3 repair unit, great extender. You can grab this off of Power Tool Dragon, off of the OG. This is kind of just an archetype of Premature Burial. You discard a Morphtronic from your hand and then target a Morphtronic, engrave, and special summon it, but equip it with this. And, if the equipped monster leaves the field, or if this card leaves the field, pop, the other. Great card, easily searchable. You don't mind drawing this as well, but it's just nice to have, the 3 so that you can search them off the PTD, which is crazy good. For the Braver equips, I am opting to play a Life Extreme, a Super Magic Sword of Readiness, and a Metal Silver Armor. This, I think, is the most standard lineup by now. Super Magic Sword of Readiness and Metal Silver Armor form this kind of targeting lock where your opponent cannot activate any effects that, target cards, which can be kind of cute. Life Extreme just helps with battle, since if a monster battles the equipped monster, the monster uses 1500 during damage calc only. And also the nice part is if the battle position of a monster on the field is changed, you can pop a card on the field, giving you kind of a quick effect pop at home, since Braver Dragon with this effect can also swap the battle position of a monster or negate it. So you can potentially pop a card that way, which could be, of course, kind of neat. Capping off the main deck, I think, is something that not a lot of people expected. 3 Ash and 3 Imperm. These are, I feel like, the best 2 kind of, hand traps you can just smack into any deck, and it just kind of works. this was just like, I don't know, a change I made because I've, you know, accumulated a lot of staples, and also my kind of local meta games become like a bit more competitive than usual. So I, you know, wanted to try this, and I've been really liking it, honestly. It definitely removes a lot of gas on the top end of the deck. But in many cases that really doesn't matter, because if you're able to, like, I don't know, rip an imperm off the top, or if you're playing into a board, you can usually trade for like a interruption that way, and just make your life a whole lot easier. Not to mention that just having these gives the deck a lot more flexibility and makes it less vulnerable if you really happen to go second. These could really be any hand traps or just, you know, additional extenders. Just play junk box in this case if you don't want to. Perfectly fine that way. But I'm really liking it, honestly, and I think the Morphtronic Ranked Grind really shows that. So, you know, check that out while we're at it. The one power 2 dragon that we are running grabs an equip spell, you reveal 3 equips, your opponent randomly adds 1 to your hand. That's why we are very glad to have 3 repair unit, since that way you can most certainly guarantee a repair unit grab. And we are, of course, also playing one of the upgraded form in Power 2 Braver Dragon. If you summon this guy, he equips 3 differently named equips from deck or graveyard to himself, and you can send an equip card that he is equipped with to the graveyard to target a monster on the field and either negate its effects or change its battle position, which is kind of cute. And as previously mentioned, with the live extreme, you can kind of get a quick effect pop at home in that way. Next up, we're playing an Extra Synchro Stardust. If you make this, it specials a level 2 or lower tuner from your graveyard, which, of course, with the abundance of level 1 tuners in the deck, easily enables you to go from this into Braver, which is very nice. That's why we are running this. 1 Crystal Wing as a generic negation tool. You easily can make this via Power Tool Dragon, which is very nice. Helps you Nibiru-proof some lines rather early, and is just a good end board thing to make. A Dawn Dragster for some spell trap interaction, and Naturia Beast because IO is a crazy card. Something I've enjoyed running a lot is a Super Heavy Samurai Swordmaster Musashi. If you synchro summon this guy, you can take a machine from your graveyard, add it back to your hand. But, you know, keep in mind, this is a Super Heavy Samurai. So if you have a spell trap in your graveyard, you will not be able to summon monsters with that monster's name, activate the effects of monsters with that monster's name for the rest of the turn. And I believe that is all the restrictions, which basically means you are not using that card for the rest of the turn. But it's just kind of nice, either as a stopgap 5 to make, if you're trying to synchro climb into higher levels, or just, you know, as something to make if you're really out of gas and just think, okay, good, I can just smack this on the board. Because, you know, Nat Beast won't do it, or, you know, you already have enough interaction otherwise. Make this, grab a Teleform back, and you have more than enough follow-up, I guess. And I think the last Synchro in the lineup is a copy of Earphone. Crazy level 4, because it's an Earth level 4 in the extra deck. You can easily make this, turn this into a Naturia Beast without really needing many main deck Earths for this. Effect of this is also kind of cool. You can equip this to a Synchro monster, I believe you control. Yes, to a Synchro monster you control. From your field or grave. The monster can attack twice, but mainly this is good as a kind of recurable equip spell for your Braver Dragon negates. So that is really lovely. For the Link lineup, we're playing the greatest Link monster ever printed. I will not be taking questions. Taking, you know, your opponent's big idiot and turning it into the anti-cheese white woman is just kind of nice. Helps going second a lot, deals with potential threats. I really like playing this card. I think it's such a sick card. And yeah, sick Link 5. Absolutely love this card. We're playing an Appaloosa for going first, and an Access Code Talker if we want to kill our opponent. No real, you know, explanations there. Appaloosa is just a good link to make if you want to get a lot of negates on the board really quickly. For some toolbox links, we're playing a Nightmare Unicorn and Nightmare Phoenix. I think the Phoenix is probably the more replaceable one of the two. I do like the Unicorn because you can IP into Unicorn rather easily, as mentioned earlier. Remoten, machine duping Remoten gives you, you know, that whole line live because you can Remoten, banish 1 Remoten, and then add a scope. And so you have a discard for the Unicorn, and then you have still like 3 cards in hand left if you're, you know, on like 2 hand traps then, and then like maybe another card. Yeah, you're probably living that turn and can maybe kill your opponent on the follow-up. But yeah, just a bit of toolboxing. As mentioned, IP Masquerader, here, good card. Helps with building boards because this like easily turns 2 leftover bodies into an interruption, which is kind of nice. You can also play like an Ensemble Robin. The deck is very flexible with the extra deck, so I think that's, where usually, you'll see a lot of different differentiation in lists. And a Linkuribow. This is also another crazy card in the deck because getting level 1s into the graveyard is very nice, especially when you have this much graveyard interaction. Well, with all that out of the way, quick moment to show off these sick OCG sleeves. But yeah, this is the list I've been playing lately when I've been playing Morphtronics, be it for, TCG play or, in Master Duel. So if you want to see me play this in Master Duel, go check out the Morphtronic Ranked Grind. We are currently in Plat 5, trying to make our way through the ladder. But yeah, with all that out of the way, I will thank you guys very much for watching and see you guys again next time. But until then, goodbye.